Hello there, everybody. This is KaneFan701. It's been a couple of while, but I'm back. You might be wondering what's been going on. Well, I've been doing tremendously well lately. Again, there's a lot of changes that are still unfolding in my life, and let's just say they've been for the best. I've really opened up to a lot of things I can see around me as we have been recovering from this global pandemic. Over the last 2 years, it has been utter hell for us. And, we can look back at some of the most horrible things that we've all done in life that led to where we are now in the current formation of recovering, rebuilding, and possibly for a brighter future. And so far, though, as you know, 2022 has been a year of further recovering from this whole crisis. But it's like when each year passed, when 2020 left, and when 2021 arrived, most of us were hoping it would be a much more better year, and technically it was. We all kind of tried to band together and just try and do our best to move on. But as we all know, things only got even worse. But unfortunately, in life, you expect, the worst could happen. And we did end up losing more lives. But unlike 2020, last year in 2021, we had the vaccination and we did it. If it wasn't for us Brits in the United Kingdom, we wouldn't have saved many more lives as we did, But still more have fallen, whether you've taken the vaccination or not. The whole thing, it's still, it's still unfolded. One of the things that really scared me, was the fact that when I caught COVID last year, I was so convinced that I was going to die within the next 28 days after being tested positive. But thankfully, though, thankfully that did not happen. And about roughly, as I can recall, about 2 weeks or so after completing, my isolation, I was only given 4 days to do so, and not the actual 10 days because I was over the worst of it when I was tested positive. I was still convinced I was going to go. But, 28 days later on, I was still alive. And then shortly after that, I got my first, jab vaccination, and it saved my life. And since then, I took a few more, including the 2 boosters. And I'm still here, 2 years later on. But, please understand, guys, that I literally have, been reflecting a lot. It's not the good and evil. It's not all that, that nonsense that we all say we have. We were all going through something that we never saw coming, both physically and mentally. And we've never been, can we just all agree and admit that we've never been the same since? I've not been the same man that I once was either, and I've tried to rebuild countless times to get back where I was. I mean, it's not impossible, because I've seen others do the exact same thing, and they've become much better people. Some may either have attempted and failed miserably, while there are others like myself who just refuse to give up and know that we can be better people. Oh, hi there, Devin Hassan. It's nice to see you. What do you mean, finally, you say in the chat there, but what do you mean, BOGO is gone? What on earth is all that about? That's a little bit weird. But either ways, though, again, I'm still reflecting a lot with the whole thing. How I dealt with it and just survived it all is a mystery. Because I was so convinced that we would, not all of us, like, I'm not kidding when I'm saying this. I was so convinced that all of us weren't going to make it. Like, once you've caught that damn thing, that's it, you're done. Oh, okay, Derek Hudson, please don't bring that lad in. We do not want to discuss about politics, mate. That's something we do not say in the chat or talk about. That, look, I'm going to say this once, I'm going to leave it at that. The only thing that's really broken my 2022 was because of Boris Johnson stepping down, and now we've got a new prime minister. I saw it go down, and I was just gutted, shattered. My pride as a true Brit, was smashed to pieces. And to be honest, I think it's affected my future. And quite honestly, I feel that the UK is not going to get any better now. But I won't give up. I'll find my own path to continue through these difficult times. That's right, Aaron Newman, that's really true. People do tend to look through history and things will get worse before it gets better. But if you want to compare to 2022 compared to what we've had in the last 2 years, it's been a lot more better. Everything that is progressed since then has been much more better. Despite the outbreak, you know, we, where can I start with this? I really do feel that things could have gone a lot better in other circumstances, but that whole thing really, really, took us by storm, and eventually, humanity as I once knew plummeted straight down to hell, and it hasn't resurrected itself since. Listen, Aaron Newman, I know for a fact, simply, with the whole thing regarding politicking and everything, that is just something, unfortunately, we don't talk about here on my streams. I mean, I'm not saying it's forbidden, but it's just something that we tend to be very strict with, because if you think about it, politicking is something that is not quite as we are not familiar with today. Not like as it was back in the last century. It's just, I wouldn't say almost a joke, but it's something that we shouldn't, stick our noses in. I mean, look at the whole issue thing that's regarding over in the West. I mean, not the West, I mean over in the Far East, I meant. Sorry, I got that mixed up there for a second. I meant in the Far East. Look at our Ukrainian brothers. They're at the mercy of Russia, of what they're doing right now. It's terrible. That's the other thing that's been darkened about this whole thing in 2020. Like, we all knew it was coming. And one thing that this thing has taught me is that none of us, and I mean none of us, do not deserve to have a war. Ukraine didn't deserve the blood slaughter that's been getting since February 24th. And we all know for a fact it was done intentionally. But yet the people don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to fight. And neither do we, guys. We don't want that either. It's kind of funny in a way. It's just exactly what Azure Lane says in the anime series, when Enterprise says the words in the opening credits, new eras may begin, but war never changes. It's exactly the same, no matter what era it falls upon. And that, my friends, is a painful truth. But we're not here to fight. We're here to live in peace, to show love and support and everything that we should have for one another, from one man to one woman to another. On this planet, we are nothing more than, we may not be like blood related, but we're supposed to be a brotherhood, a sisterhood, for the sake of humanity to live for each other, regardless of our nationality, regardless of where we come from in the world, regardless of our religion, our equality, and everything else. We're all the same. But as this year's been progressing, guys, I can tell you one thing, it's really opened my mind big time. it's kind of like got me through all the issues I've had to deal with for the last 2 years. With fallouts, you know, with so many fallouts, regarding my personal life as well as, on social media, which is something that needs to be really looked upon because that's something that really has driven us to places we would never go to. It's made me more wary of who I can be around with and who I can trust more often. And I know you guys have my full support, and I thank you guys in return for that because it really does help me out with a lot of things. And I would do anything in return to make your lives even more greater, from one fellow brother into another. Thanks, Aaron. I do have faith in humanity, Aaron. I really do. But, not quite the way as some other people would think. I kind of stand between the good and evil. If you were to compare it to Star Wars, you've got the light side of the Force and you've got the dark side, and you've got those that stand in between, who are basically called the Grey Jedi. That's kind of where I'm standing in this whole current scenario, and have been since 2020, and when everything just went down to hell. You know, it's not just us in reality. We also have guys, in like the Thomas community has been a train wreck, quote unquote, and it's just been in shambles. But we've been trying to rebuild it since now in this recent time, and jeez, I see where you're coming from, Aaron. I really do. Although back in 1996, I was only just 5 years old when that happened, so I had no idea what was going on. Okay, but like the Thomas community was just shattered, and we're trying so hard to make it, to make it a lot more better and much more stronger with better members because we're seeing some great talents unfold with newer stories and newer series and kind of those that kind of give us a bit of a nostalgic flavor to what we tried to do when we were starting in the business at the time. And you got guys in the anime industry which are doing phenomenal. Who can say that anime does a lot of great things regarding to what we can connect to the characters that we feel that we could be like, And, there's just so much things that are flying around right now that, we want to do the right thing. We want to stand side by side. But the thing is, you're going to have people who don't have any self-righteousness, who just don't have any good or bad or whatever. They just feel so lost, and they live in their own fantasy. And you've got guys on social media who have nothing but just, wasting their time to harm other people. I've seen this happen before. You have such great people who even have potential to be something that they could become for good reasons, like there are some out there who make tremendous videos, some who do tremendous fan fiction stories, those who take like photography, and even those who can write some good stories, or even those who could make documentaries, or those who could make a pretty good spokesman, to let their voices be heard, or, they can have like a passion for something, only to them to know, only for them to just to fall down the wrong direction and they never come back. I've been through that before and I know what it's like. 1 minute you can be on tremendous momentum and you're on your way to do something tremendously well that you want to do. And then something goes terribly wrong. And then you have like the haters who come up. They just do nothing but throw insults because they think it's funny and hilarious, and just see them react and break down into depression. And they continue to do it regardless. And I've seen friends of mine who have been through this before, and I'm no different either because I can relate. And I always question myself in the back of my mind, what's the point? What's the point in giving an offender the reaction they always want? You have to look, and I've had this thrown at me before, and it's actually done wonders for me. When you look in the mirror and you ask yourself, was that worth it? Was that really worth, in harming somebody else because they had something you didn't have? Out of jealousy, out of rage. Was it really worth it? In my mind, it's not. And when people do things, that they feel they're doing the right thing with, when they feel like, hurling insults and talking slander and just throwing disrespectful comments towards them, just because they're trying to showcase what they've got. I've seen it happen in the Thomas community. I've seen some tremendous series that are everlasting inspiring. I've seen people who have done recent stuff lately in the Thomas community, as in the anime series, as well as in Star Wars, who are like, no pun intended to AJ Styles, but I've seen some phenomenal stuff lately in 2022, and I mean that tremendously. It's crazy. The outside world is just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's being bombarded by negativity. We've got the war in Ukraine and Russia, which is literally just dominating the headlines. And the COVID scenario is rising back again because of the rise of infections going on again. And then you have, on the inside, you've got people who are young, even younger still, or even grown adults like me, who are doing amazing creativity that can shape the world into a better place and kind of relate to what we're doing in life. It's really something that can do wonders. Even the tiniest thing can do a tremendous thing. Now, I know this is something you don't normally hear me talk about, but this is really me. I'm really being very passionate and leveling with you guys, because lately I'm really seeing the bigger picture of how this world has been reshaped again. I get where you're coming from, Aaron, definitely. A mental breakdown is something we all go through, but I'm not sure if this makes any sense, but has anybody ever thought of what a physical breakdown can be like? Because that can be just as bad, if not deadly. Hey there, Slim Killer. It's nice to see you. Look, I know I'm not trying to go ranting here or whatever the heck. I'm really trying to level out with a lot of things that's coming out of my mouth. I'm reflecting a lot of things, not just from mistakes, but things that I wish could have gone down a lot more better in my life. Sometimes I even look back to my own childhood, or even back to my teenage life when I wasn't quite the mature man I thought I was. And it does bugger me sometimes. Sometimes I actually cry over it, because I am a very emotional person. I've become more emotional than I ever have done. Nice to see you too, Slim Killer. It's just like I'm more open as ever. And I've just, I literally have recently found, I found a connection. I really found something back in my life that I thought I'd lost and which I've been fighting against for so long. I finally managed to reclaim a spot back in not in terms of equality and all that, but it's like I found something in humanity that I feared was lost. And I'm just so glad that it worked out. And I have to thank you guys, because some of you guys told me things will work out better eventually for myself. There will be some things that will come around and eventually will get better, as long as I do the right thing. And I did. I'm sorry if I'm getting a little choked up in the back. You can't quite hear me, but I am a little bit emotionally right now, because I've recently gone through hell and back since I came back from my holiday in Scarborough. I've opened up big time, and I've tried to be more happier. But the more happier I get, the more emotional and tearful I get. And friends I fell out with, or I left behind, or moved on, there are some who still remember me. There are some who barely talk about me. And hey there, Daniel Brooks, it's nice to see you. And yet there are those who are neutral towards me, who are aware about my past, or flaws as a human being. Some of them are gradually have come home to me and want to stay friends for obvious reasons. And I'm proud of that because I know that's real friendship and how it's supposed to be. Yes, Daniel, I can see you're here, mate, and I know you've been with me since, and I totally understand what you've gone through as well. I mean, but when it comes to those who I don't want to be around with, like, say, let me just explain this for you guys, and I'd like you to get your opinions after. I've been with those, who have been with me for a long while. There are some who have stabbed me in the back. There are some who just took me the wrong way, and there are those, who just will not let me go. And I'm one of those people who have let them go and just want them to live their own life because I've got better things to be around with actual people that I befriend and trust and who I look upon in my own brotherhood. I have nothing against humanity. And quite honestly, if you, I really have, changed around, but a lot of things have been going on since 2022. I mean, I look back on the things that tore me apart, and I feel remorseful and regretful. And that's a good thing because if you show that more often, that makes you more human. But if you carry guilt for too long, that can do something very, very bad. And I know just exactly how that can be. And trust me, I've been there and back before. It's not a pleasant sight. And look, I'm not being dramatic here. I'm throwing out my emotional side out here with this. And I've even had friends who I no longer want to associate myself with anymore, who have mentioned me when I always say, never again mention me ever again. Like, forget about me and just progress on with your life and move on like I've done. But that goes to show that there are some who are not willing to and to continue following in my life that I feel that's wrong. I feel like I should be with those who I feel more trustworthy and, who I feel that I respect more. No, guys, I know I don't like to keep talking about, certain issues anymore because it's over and done with. But I'm always knowing in the back of my mind I'm always right when there's those who are just living lies in the shadows and just don't want to admit. I'm very well aware that I have some out there who just refuse, to let me go. Because I know for a fact people want me to have a reaction. And it's a reaction that none of them are not going to get. Because I know how it goes. And if you don't give the reaction that with people that, who use anybody else to get to me, for a fact they'll implode and just self-destruct. I've seen it happen. Hey, Daniel Brooks, it's nice to see you.
Hello there.
I knew that was coming. So have you heard me going on? I'm not ranting or whatever, Daniel. I'm literally kind of trying to open up lately of how I've been during 2022 since I've come back from my holiday in Scarborough. I'm
good.
It's just that I'm not quite the same man like you would expect me to be. I'm much more open, more emotional, and quite honestly, though, I'm just trying to get it out of my system, because I know for a
In all
fact.
honesty, Glenn, I'm glad you're opening up more and willing to express how you feel.
Well, I know I've been that way since
That's all. A lot of us that have stuck by you have been trying to help you do. Is trying to help you open up more. Trying to let you know, hey, open up, ask people for help, or ask some of us to talk to. And it's like it seemed like in the past you were just scared to open up because of what you were going through.
Well, I am going to admit on two things. Well, number one, I wasn't scared of opening up. I was just too depressed to open up. It kind of corrects you there. And
yeah, but
because of what was going on when the pandemic hit hard. Because
that's what my thought process was that you're going through so much that you probably didn't want to open up because you probably were depressed about stuff. But at the same time, I always tried to stick by you no matter what, even though we had
Indeed.
our shortcomings. We're still there for one another, man. And I always have been. And I always will be.
I'm glad you admit to that, Daniel. Oh God, sorry, Daniel. Good God, I don't know what just happened there, but you've just touched my emotional spot. I'm nearly tearing up now. Oh, damn. Any cases, like I said,
Because I'm still saying that I'm still here. I'm still gonna stick by you and try to continue the process and try to help you.
yeah, I know, yeah, but like I said, mate, there was another thing as well. There was like, if you guys have remembered, and I've said this 1,000 times in my past streams when I had other guys who were with us before the whole thing went down to hell last year and in late 2020 as
Shit,
well.
not just last year. For like
Yeah,
last.
yeah, that's what I mean. During last year, but also during late 2020, just before Christmas of that year happened, if you know what I'm saying, when it all,
Yeah, when it all went to crap.
yeah, because I can still remember it. Because what I am now is what I was trying to be 2 years prior when I was on the stream. If you remember, guys, when I was in that last stream for 6 hours, and near the end, I just broke into tears. That's how I am now. Just you can't see it on camera. I was trying to show more emotion, and when who said, Glenn, are you crying, dude? Like that wasn't fake. That wasn't crocodile tears. I was literally crying for real, like showing emotion. And so rarely do I show that side of me, you know?
Glenn, I'm gonna be honest with you here too, man. I've rarely shown that sign of me as well, but that's for more of how do I put this? Growing up, I always used to be really emotional and stuff, but as I've gotten older and as I gotten older, and plus my stepdad being in the Navy and him being strict, very strict on certain things, and I just I it was hard for me to even let my emotions out. Even still to this day, it's still hard. But
Mm, I
even
know.
when I had announced that what was it, about a month ago now, when I announced that
Yeah, it was a month ago
and then
since.
2 weeks later I was like, I can't, damn it, I can't take it. I got it.
You couldn't. You
I just couldn't
go.
stay away. I just couldn't stay away because I have made a lot of friends and
Yeah,
been through a lot. So
yeah. You may. It's kind of like a regretful decision, but I was going to respect your choice either way, Daniel, because I know you'd gone through a lot of stress than I could ever hoped. I think, but you and I were in the same bar.
Glenn, I'm going to be 100% honest with you here. The amount of stress and the amount of heartache that I've gone through, to be completely 100% honest with you, dude, you would not been able to handle the level of stress and heartache that I went through. I'm going to be 100% honest with you here.
And I believe you. I totally believe you, brother. If you can imagine you can imagine how, if you remember what I said back when we had that first COVID wave in London, I had 3 nephews. I thought they weren't going to survive it. It's only just recently come to life that they're still alive because my eldest brother claimed custody of his youngest son at last after 4 years,
That's good.
and
I mean,
that was my confirmation to know that they're still alive, and
yeah,
that was the first thing I thought I was going to lose, was the last thing that helped me to overcome the nightmares of 2020, because I even had my sister, my sister-in-law who had
yeah.
cancer. She beat that, thank God, but that was
I
bad
mean,
enough in itself, and then
yeah.
regarding.
But me personally, when I was actually on my Xbox playing one of my games at the time, and I was on my racing wheel. I still have it in my room. My Xbox exploded. It fried. But I was racing on my wheel. Then I called my mom, and because it was during the heart of the pandemic, and I called my mom, and my mom sounded she was very, very sick. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? You okay? She's like, I'm fine. I'm like, I had this feeling inside that she wasn't willing to tell me that she had COVID at the time, but I pretty much begged it out of her. I'm like, Mom, please tell me. Please be honest with me. Do you have COVID? And she said, yes, I do. After I got done talking to her, I kicked my racing wheel and screamed out loud the F word because my mom is 61, going to be 62. She was still 60 years old at the time. I didn't know if I was going to lose her or not. And it just scared me to bits.
Well, it's kind of strange because similar, unlike yourself, well, I know it's worse to lose someone from that. If you remember what I said about my own mom, if you remember, if any of you guys can remember 2 years ago and even last year, I've been repeating it several times. When I had my mom having heart surgery, she didn't have COVID at the time, but
you were.
Oh God, that was the. Listen,
you were definitely going through it there. I mean,
that was the straw. That was the straw that brought the camel's back, so to speak. That was what pushed me physically, not off the deep end, but that's what broke me as a physical man. Like, because I'm my mother's only child, and think about it. If anybody had that, no one can live with it. And I was so convinced I wasn't going to see her again, but she pulled through.
I told my father. I had the same feeling, man. I had the same feeling when Mom had COVID because I'll admit this. I have a stronger relationship with my mom than I do with my own dad. So
I understand.
And I would have taken it. My brother actually found out before I did that my mom had COVID. But you know what my brother's reaction was to it? My brother told Mom, does Daniel know? What does Daniel think about it? My brother was concerned about me and my mental health, my well-being, if I knew.
I think he was freaking out at the same time, I think.
Yeah, he might have been freaking out, but at the same time, he was more worried about how I would react to it.
Same here. I was same here because when my mom went into hospital, I instantly was thinking about my own 2 half brothers. What were they thinking? And my God, did they freak out? But thing was, I was the one who was freaking out even more because, I'm her only blood and my dad too. But considering that he was married before that, that's very different. But he was like going through a rough patch. And when my mom was recovering and we were getting the room reinvented for her to come home, I kind of took my mom's role. And, I kind of felt like I was being a grown man in a strange way. I felt like I was being both two guys wrapped into one. And that did something I never thought I'd do. And that was 2 years ago. And I still wonder how the heck I got through that. But the thing is, I told my dad
that for one because of all the support from me and the rest of us that have stuck by your side.
I did.
Today. We all helped you. That was a time where everybody needed each other. Everybody was.
We all did.
Trying to be there for one another and trying to keep each other's spirits lifted up, despite whatever issues were going on previous or prior.
Yeah, that was during in April. That was when all of us were in the early stages of lockdown. That's when we all had to gather up, back in the day. And I know we can't change the past of what happened afterwards, but it does make me feel like I lost more than just a family and friendship. I did feel like I lost a family in a way, and I do tend to blame myself a little bit. I will carry some of that responsibility, but not completely. I know I had my faults. I couldn't control my physical state. Listen, my mental health was completely unfazed. My physical health was like, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say this honestly. My physical health was 99% shattered. I don't know how I managed to survive by 1%. That's the reason why I ended up being the way I did. And all I told my father was, if Mom wakes up from her heart surgery, if she pulls through, then the ordeal is done. And when that happened, I was just so relieved. I've said this before, I didn't care about the pandemic at that point. I didn't care for others who had that. I just wanted my mom to
you only cared about your mom pulling through. You only cared about
I did care for you guys, but I was referring to.
Yeah, but you're more. Yeah, you did care for us, but at the same time, we were saying, don't focus on us. Focus on your mom. Focus on being there for her, because she's going to need you guys the most.
And
We're good. We're fine.
yeah, but I was also thinking of you guys as well who may have had this scenario, because this was something I did not prepare myself for. And when she came home, every 7 days, of coming back, she was getting a lot stronger and a lot better. And as you know, and please forgive me, guys, for saying it, I know I need to forgive about it, because when May came around, we all was looking forward to it, because that's Star Wars, because that's basically Star Wars month
Not
usually.
only that, that's my birthday month.
I know. And ironically enough, guys, I was supposed to be born in May, ironically enough, but I came way too early.
I was actually supposed to be born in August, but instead I was born in May.
Not really. It was actually May I was supposed to be born in, but no, I came in February. It's true. I know, because of I know. That would have been crazy. I'll admit, if I was born on May during Star Wars month, I probably would have been, I don't know, maybe it was a bit, I don't know, what would have been. Maybe I could have identified myself as a Jedi or a Sith regardless, but it doesn't really matter, because it doesn't really matter. We're still happy to be around. But the thing is, like I said, and I know I've said this before, and I know others, on Discord, and I know those, look, sorry if I said that out. For those who may want to remember or forget about me for the wrong reasons, if they could just rethink and look back on what I've been saying, man, I literally do feel sorry and regretful and remorseful. Like I'm currently like in the aftermath of what recently went down, and don't worry, I'm very aware of what was going on behind my back while I was away. But I had other ideas, because I know for a fact I was trying to get a reaction, and I wasn't going to give anybody that satisfaction, because I know the trick. I know what people were trying to do. I know, Daniel, because I'm aware of what there are certain people I know who are still associated around, who are still talking, you know, who are still talking certain shit behind my back.
Yeah.
But I know, Daniel, because I did see, but I'm not going to respond whatsoever. And because I know for a fact you told me. I don't care if anybody hears this. I know for a fact you've been with me since, and I believe you. There are some others who are skeptical, but I know I'm telling the truth when I say this. And so if I can hear a bit of a buzzing going off, but yeah, there's like someone, there's like an alarm going off or something.
No.
Well, I can hear something going on in the back. Hang on. Hang on, Daniel, I'm still here. Just hold on.
Okay. Take your time. Yeah. Well, Glenn is temporarily busy at the moment. How is everybody doing?
Okay, Daniel, it's apparently there's an alarm going off outside the back. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
I know. Lately, there's been a lot of it going on around here lately. It's come out. Hey, T-Crash is back. Anyways, Daniel, I'm glad you popped in, and I'm glad we're doing this live. Well, it's a shock. I'm just happy to hear from you, man, and I am getting to get emotionally touched. And even Mr. Brandon himself has said the same stuff you've said. He's always, and I believe that. The thing is, though, before we go any further, like I said before, there we go, the alarms have stopped now. Once that happening, and when May came around, I mean, we all know I don't want to go any further with this anymore, because I actually have reached my limitation in this at last, and I'll tell you why, guys, afterwards. The thing is, afterwards, ever since what happened, ever since, I know I keep saying this, and I know I keep getting heat to this day still, but since that terrible day on May 25th, my trust in humanity, exploded. And that was the ultimate thing that led me down the wrong direction. Well, actually, I didn't go all the way down the wrong path, but it was like that. I didn't take that final step, if you know what I'm saying. I was kind of holding on by a thread. And I do want to apologize. Look, and I say this with all my heart now, as a remorseful human being. I don't want to. I've actually fixed a wrong I felt like I needed to right, even though I wasn't completely, a villain at this point. I just felt that it wasn't the whole thing. Look, I've been more open about this now, Daniel. You're going to be impressed. I've become more open about discrimination than ever, and it is wrong. You're going to have people like that who are going to be that way. But I've come to really understand now, because of my own experience, my upbringing on it was very different. like very different. I don't have a problem anymore regarding the whole flesh coloring anymore. Despite I've explained this, it's not to do with that. Even though I did say some bad shit that I should never have said, but I was a physical state. Guys will tell you I was in a bad place in life that I didn't think I was going to come out of, and I did get the help I needed after all. And I do apologize for everybody in the community, and including yourself, Daniel, and to Brandon, to everybody else in the community who may have been hurt by my words, which they didn't understand or what I was going through. I really, and I can't win them back because a lot of them went behind me and wish they'd never met me. But I'm not that sort of a bad person. I mean, people have gone as far as comparing me to, Jesus Lord, forgive me for saying his name, but some people went as far recently as comparing me to Adolf Hitler, and some say I have a bad mindset of Donald Trump. Some even say I'm just as bad as some certain users in the Thomas community, and I hate to say his name, but he recently came back. People still think I'm as bad as Boscher ever was, and he has back. And
let me interrupt you on this, Glenn. To those guys that still hate your guts in this, that have their heads stuck up their ass.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck off, because Glenn has tried to do his best to make amends and change. He's done a good job. He's come a long way, but at the same time, those of you that are not willing to forgive him and to keep harping on the past, get a fucking grip.
Yeah.
Glenn is nowhere as bad as Boscher or any of those idiotic, stupid fucks.
Indeed. I can tell. There are those who are worse than Boscher, and
I'm still that still infuriates me, man. I mean,
I know. It stopped right now, Daniel. It has come to an end, but I still won't forgive those who still compared me to him. And I have explained numerous times, and even Brandon himself gets a bit angry about this when I tell him about this.
I mean, Brandon is at the point where he's tired of all the drama. He's tired of everything. He just wants to move on and move forward and stop. And he wants everybody to stop bringing up stuff that has happened in the past.
I mean, it's kind of funny in a bizarre twist. Because
Brandon has been more of a friend to me and Glenn and to everybody that has known him than a lot of other. He's been more of a friend than I can say about others.
Indeed.
I mean, Glenn stopped me. I mean, not you, Glenn. I mean, Brandon stopped me from putting a butcher knife into my chest because I got so depressed and he didn't call me when he did.
And if you thought that was bad, I mean, Daniel, I'm not surprised everyone didn't bash on you on that one when everybody keeps still referring to me. If you remember when I had that issue, when I actually have corrected, I've corrected.
Look, you were going through a tough time and people took it out of context.
And they still have that footage and image from me today. It even went as far as going in other places saw it, and they actually, some of them didn't get freaked out. Some knew I was.
Yeah, me, for mine, I wasn't streaming or anything. I was actually in a severe depressive state at the time when I almost did the unthinkable and I almost ended my life. And it wasn't for Brandon, and it wasn't for you, and it wasn't for Callum, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here right now.
I know. I've been driving. I know that whole level of going down that path is, it's very hard to come back from. Oh, hang on a second, Dale. My dad's just popped back in. I'll be right there. Continue.
Okay. Tell your dad I said hi. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, I mean, I know this is Glenn's stream, and I know he's giving you guys an update on what's going on with him, but also at the same time, a lot of the things that he's gone through, a lot of the things that he's been through, I've been right there with him, trying to help him through it. And going back to what I said about what I just said, I was in a severe depressive state when I almost did the unthinkable and ended my life. And it wasn't for Glenn, Brandon, Callum, everybody that I know, everybody that I'm friends with. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now. if it wasn't for their support and them telling me, hey, you have a lot to live for, don't do it, that helped me get through a lot. That helped me get through everything I was going through at the time. And me being there for Glenn as long as I have, yes, as I mentioned before, me and him had some issues. Me and him worked it out and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be there for Glenn, and I know Glenn will be there for me.
You bet I will. It's all right. It's nothing issue. He's just come back in after having a nice party time because my dad just recently turned he just recently turned 67, and he's just had a blast.
Oh. Well, tell your dad happy birthday, old man, in a joking way.
Don't worry. I think he heard you say that. Don't worry, lads. Hey, it's fine. Because we're going to have another birthday party tomorrow. We'll
my dad's turning 73, so on November 13th, I'm going to call my dad and go, happy birthday, old man, LOL.
Oh, in this, well, that goes well. I guess your dad's about a decade older than my a decade over from my my own dad. Huh.
Yeah, my dad, but also my dad used to be a world junior amateur bodybuilder, so.
Oh, nice. Well, at least he must have had a.
There's like a 2-minute clip on YouTube from when my dad was at a bodybuilding competition at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas when he was married to his first wife before they divorced and before he married my mom, and then him and my mom adopting me and my brother and my sister Lauren.
Well, that's good. Well, like goes to show, my dad was born in 1950. I think it was 55 or whatever it was.
My dad was born November 13th, 1948.
48 or something like that. I think it was. Well, that's pretty cool. Like I said, Daniel, I didn't expect this calling stream to go as we've done, but I'm just glad you throw some stuff out there, and if anybody picks it up, hopefully that will work. That's going to work out because lately this year has just been a roller coaster of a lot of, since
and it's still going to be a roller coaster. I mean, a lot of what's happening now is just we're still recovering from an absolute total
human implosion, maybe you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm being extreme now. I'm just trying to describe it better like you are. But the things, if you compare to what we've had 2 years ago, it's been a lot more better.
Yeah, for sure.
A bit more common sense has come back. We've kind of, there's that, that one time, like I said, that we were pulled apart. We all did, and we've slowly, it's like how should I describe it? It's like we've had a smashed up jigsaw puzzle, and we've slowly but surely have put the pieces back together, but we've still got more.
Yeah.
It's like we've done the, how should I describe it? We've got like the four corners back in, and now we're going to slowly work our way back into it. And that's kind of where we are at this point.
I mean, we're all at that point for a lot of us are. So we're still putting the pieces back together.
Or to put it in a steam train scenario, we could say like in 2020, the big steam train got derailed. And last year we had it back on the track, and now we're slowly moving our way forward. But slowly picking up speed. That's kind of
or we can do it this way. I can say I was involved in a severe crash that it took over a year and a half for them to put me back together.
Indeed. Yeah, that's kind of like how I'd like to describe the crisis we've been in. But for those of us who survived, we're doing very well. For those who didn't, some tragically couldn't make it. And for those who didn't listen, you can't quite blame the pandemic for doing that. Because, if I hadn't taken the jab or
Here's my opinion on that. To those people that thought the pandemic was a joke and they never got vaccinated or they never followed the CDC guidelines and they ended up getting sick and stuff. And I mean, in a way, it was their own fault, but at the same time,
it is tragic. I know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get fed with a lot of misinformation, and a lot of people will buy into conspiracy theories, which
plus everything is always taken out of context. Even the most simplest of things tend to get taken out of context.
Indeed, Daniel. like I said, I was so grateful I took my first vaccination, and as they said, when I took it, let's just say when I
I
first took
mean,
when I first
for
took it, they said, if you get like a reaction in like 10 or 15 minutes afterwards, that's never a good sign. But if you take it like 24 hours after it happened, that's the normal reaction you're gonna get. And I
yeah.
and that's what's happened to me every single time I've took it, with whether it was the boosters or the normal jabbing.
I
Typical.
mean, Glenn, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you here. I never got the fact the I never got vaccinated. I never got the shots or anything like that. But I did what I needed to do to keep myself healthy. I wore a mask everywhere I went.
Same here, although I do tend
So
to.
it's like
I
I was
don't.
very, very lucky not to get it. But I
Well,
did everything I could to prevent myself from getting it without getting the shot. The main reason why I didn't get the shot because I'm scared of needles. So
that's
I'm
kind
like,
of. Well, I'm not
like
in
I
it.
said, I'm like Goku in a sense. Every time I see a needle, I'm like needles, and I try running away.
Indeed. Hey, Trash Cash, nice to see you. Like I was just gonna say, I've overcome that phobia thing. But the thing is, with me, I wasn't worried about getting it done, but it was more like the aftermath. That's what really buggers
Yeah,
me. And I still can't get over that. But the thing is, having it done was necessary. Otherwise, I wouldn't have survived. It helped me get through the winter, which is where I'm at my most vulnerable, because
yeah,
that's where the COVID gets its strength from. But let's just say this though, it really helps. And when I had my flu jab, which is my cold jab, which keeps me cold free for an entire 12 months every time, that just double protects me. And the thing is, as
yeah,
well, and one thing that made me survive is because I have an antibody system in me, which is what also helped fight the virus because of my white cells. And that's another reason why I survived. The only question I always keep lingering in my head is thinking,
right.
how strong is my antibody system? Because that's what really intrigued me. Like, we know it's strong, but just how? Like, and the strength department in the scale or whatever, because we all have a different reaction to it. Because that's another reason why, because I'm still young. Well, sort of young, because I'm, but at the same time, it worked, and I'm just so grateful. I mean, if I hadn't took the boosters as well, I probably wouldn't have survived it last year when we went into Christmas, but we still did it. And I took my last vaccination because of that, and I didn't want to miss out Christmas last year, and I got my reward. I did that for
Yeah.
everybody and for myself. And what's funny
But the
about
main thing is, though, you did it for yourself, not because of
I know,
us. You mainly did it for yourself. You mainly did it to help yourself and to get yourself better.
I did because I wasn't gonna, lose my life at a young age, and I still to this day feel that way sometimes. Uh, oh, hang on a second, Damien Zero, listen, Ghost Train 3 ain't happening, bro. It's gone. But I understand and respect that about the whole issues that have gone on about me, so I still respect that. But Ghost Train 3 ain't happening, mate. That's kind of very 6 feet under, mate. But in any cases, though, one of the things I will say is, I'm just so grateful I'm still here. But 2020 was a nightmare for all of us. Mainly, it was depressing because, like I said, of what was going on after what happened.
Yeah.
Regardless of the whole discrimination that had happened, if it had stayed in America and not gone globally, we would all be in a much better situation, and we probably would all be together. We'd all have our mates who wouldn't have, you know, turned their backs or gone down the wrong direction, or mistaken me as a
Mhm.
villain. But like I said, I've been more spoke about this, but at the same time, we all reacted in ways that we shouldn't have done, and because we were all
Yeah.
scared of the global pandemic, we were scared about of what would happen in the years to come. And to be honest, I've so far everything that happened last year during 2021, which I'd like to call the recovery year, it actually kind of went exactly as I foresaw it. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Last year was a foreseeable year for me. I saw how things were going to play out, and no one listened. I could tell what was going on. You know, I foresaw what would happen. During the whole thing in the aftermath. of how this year was going to go. We were going to get the vaccination rolled, would save many lives, and we did that. That was the first prediction. And then the whole thing regarding the, forgive me for saying it, the Euro football thing in England, when our nation was going through a rough patch. And again, with the whole, which I'm still against still, but that was the thing that really shattered my year. But in the end, it was a lesson learned. And hang on a second. Hang on, I'll come back.
And I still don't stink.
Well, and who's to say boxes don't sweat? Get it?
I'm sweating and stuff.
Yeah. Hang on a second, man. I'm just. You do know your voice now just been important in my. It doesn't really matter if I have a good time. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then just trying to bring something brilliant. And I'm glad it smiles me.
You feel that? Sleeping yet?
It is. I'm just talking more with Daniel.
No.
It's just how you. It's just how you.
Yep, this is what I look like. Face reveal, people.
No, but she was though. Yeah, this is for one time pound from. Yeah, very close to just like to what we just like catching up and good. How we do it like. We are because we were happy. It's emotional. We got back in touch with him. No, because he hate, because of what he was going through. I was worried. Thankfully, he's done a hell of a job. And okay, I'll just hang on a second there, Daniel. I'll be right back with you.
It's all good, Glenn. I'm actually going to head out. So, but
hang on, Daniel. I'll be right there with you. Pop
right.
back when you need to, because I'll still be here.
Yeah. But I'm going to head out, though. So,
all right, then. Maybe the next time we'll come back and we'll catch up later on, maybe.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I liked where we were going with that,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
I'm going to be, me and one of my roommates going to clean my room here in a little bit. So that's what.
Oh, I understand. We'll catch up with you.
So, but
with this, we were getting a heck of a lot out there. It was working well.
Yeah, but hey, we can talk more later on Discord or whatever. So
whenever you feel like popping back in, because I'll still be here, mate. I'm still drinking.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah. You too. Bye, everybody.
He's got to get going, yeah, because he's got a roommate with him. You're all right. You said don't worry about. When you coming up, you said don't worry about. Yeah, Hey guys, I'm still here, lads. Just don't worry, I'll be back in just a few minutes. Just hold on tight, lads. Just let my viewers know, Mom, because I'm on my own. I've still got my guys who are watching. I'm just saying, that's why it's a bit somber right now. Yeah, that's all. Back when TV and music was yeah, I know.
Just lost the back of the earrings and we're going down your back. Sure.
Okay, guys, I'm back now, guys. Sorry if that was a bit of a, you know what, there, lads, but everything's going good. I'm sorry if there was a bit of a, that was kind of an emotional thing we just went through there, lads, but trust me, that was something we had to get out. But the more I had to continue, I was getting more choked up. Okay. Thanks to you, Crash, for being on. But like I said, we made some good references. I was just saying, because I've been reflecting on a lot of things. Like I said, I mean, some of you guys know that we've all gone through a lot of horrible things. I couldn't be more happy. I mean, I know recently this year I was going through a lot of shit. You know, all the drama that had gone down. You know, just forget about it, because the Kane Fan 701 or the Glenn or, you know, the guy that you guys might not like or hate, he's been dead for a long time. Because what you've been hearing lately is the real me, the real Glenn, the real Kane fan who has always been passionate and likable. But it is hard to try and express and open up to a lot of things. And I've had that for a while. You know, last year I definitely tried my best to open up. And it was emotional because of what we were all going through in the aftermath of 2020 into the new year. But, you know, with each new year, a new side of you comes out, and it's really, really unique. And I gotta tell you, 2022 definitely showed a much more lighter side of me. You know, and it's because of guys like yourselves who have really done tremendous. And I couldn't be more thankful. You know, there's always good in humanity. I mean, well, at the same time, we all have the good and bad, the light and dark. You know, that's just it's part of the human nature. If anybody else wants to come in, I've got the link here for you guys, you know, because we're definitely getting somewhere with this. I'm really, really definitely getting somewhere. It's been one of those times where you have a tremendous time talking around and just letting loose. Okay, mate, it's nice to see you might have a job in time. That's really good to know. Got the link here for you guys, so pop in if you need to. Like I said, there's just so much stuff that's going on. Like, I've got a feeling that this year will get better, but at the same time, you know, we can't always predict the future, because every 24 hours a new day comes and you just never know when the events are going to play out. It's like that classic, what's it called again? It's that classic thing about rolling the dice, you know, or if it's like a game of Russian roulette. Sorry, guys, I'm just enjoying a nice little Prosecco. I mean, there's a lot of guys, you know, who definitely have done well. And, you know, there are some people who still look at me as an inspiration, as a good influence on their lives. And I'm blessed to say that. But at the same time, you're going to have people who basically don't care. You know, that's their issue. I've come to, you know, to learn a lot of things. You know, you just got to ignore the haters. You got to ignore people who have nothing nice to say and just don't give them the reaction they want, you know, to show that you're better. And that's something that's definitely worked in my favor a lot. Hey, Michael Brown. Oh, I see you got Gordon as your icon.
Oh, sorry, I had my mic turned off. Whoops.
You seemed all right to me. I could hear you loud and clearly when you came on.
Yeah, I've just been chilling. I'm
Well,
like I said in the live chat. I may have a job in the near future.
well, I hope it all turns out and works well, mate. Yeah, you can't. Hey, T Crash, don't worry, mate. I'm still going to be here in the next 15 minutes or so you'll have plenty of time to join the party. Uh, like I said, there's just a lot of things. Robert, please stop showing the Red Railway stuff. That's we don't want to see that. Okay. But any cases, I've seen a couple of cool stuff that's happened, and I've been keeping update with what you're doing, Michael, and I'm glad to see that you're doing really well, and you're definitely doing your best to lay it out there. You're like saying your opinions about the Thomas community and the other stuff I won't mention, but I could see where you're trying to go, and
Yeah.
you're definitely trying to show your side of what you believe in, or basically what the fandom is supposed to be about and what we as humans are supposed to be, But at the same time, I am aware about, other guys you're hanging with, which is definitely not looking good.
Well, there
Saying that,
hasn't been any issues, so we're fine.
I'm just saying that out of concern, mate, just for you.
Yeah.
Because
I'm doing good I'm doing good from their retrospective.
Because I was aware of something recently that, a certain friend of mine said that I was mentioned along with others in a certain who, which I didn't take kindly to. It's gone now, but I wasn't happy with that. I was very disapproved, you might say.
Yeah, it was I was trying to
Not
expose
with you.
this guy that was trying to ruin me on Twitter or something, but it kind of backfired.
Not with you, Michael. With a certain lad that
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and somebody else who I'm still befriending was there too, talking about behind my back with a certain individual who was been with me too, and that wasn't nice either. I didn't see the photo. I was only just told certain things about it, and I'm just glad it's gone, but it shouldn't have happened. So I do feel like I've kind of been, you know, when certain people say that they're done with me and they just forget about me, only to come back and start off again.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying. But at the same time, times have changed a lot better, and it's just good to continue with the direction that we're going in. Oh, so Retrains has popped in. Alice B 100's popped in. Been a long while since I've seen him. Let me see now. He's actually known as the Gaming Channel. And he's got someone like Blobby on his icon. How come he changed his name to that to somebody else? That doesn't make sense.
I have no idea.
He's got different versions of Henry. He's got Lego model trains. Oh, jeez. I'm just seeing on his cam there for a brief second. What the heck? That was a bit weird. Hey, Tommy Trains has popped in too. I can see him. But either way, it's Michael Brown. I'm really glad that you're getting a lot better at your streaming, and you definitely are getting more experience as you go along. So again,
yeah, I'm doing a movie review tomorrow.
Huh. Well, I'll be celebrating my dad's birthday. Well, it's his birthday today. He's just turned, he's just turned a good age, and tomorrow we'll be celebrating.
Isn't that kind of a coincidence?
I know that's kind of I wouldn't say a bad coincidence, but that's unfortunate, mate. Because I'll be gone all day since 3:00. So,
oh man.
Yeah. So I may not be back until early in the night. Who knows what's going to happen? But right now, I'm still celebrating. Happy for my dad, and I'm happy for a lot of things because you just missed it, unless you were hearing it in the audio about me and Daniel talking. And
no, I have my other things going on.
Because we had an emotional speak down, and I nearly broke into happy tears, man. And then whatever happened, it just gave me a motivation, and I'm just talking like I am now. Like it just had an effect, like a light bulb just blew off in my head. So,
speaking about that, my stepdad was trying to put a new light bulb in. I was trying to do the light bulb thing, like how the light bulb is supposed to glow above you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do that and nothing happened.
Maybe your so-called thinking light bulb was not working right.
Oh no.
Maybe that was because it was a bad bulb, you had like a bad idea, or you know what I'm saying?
Or maybe I just wasn't thinking anything.
Maybe it was a false thought. 30 grades, lads. Look, I know I'm actually going crazy bally right now because I've been drinking my Prosecco. It really helps me with my negative emotions if I try and speak on certain things live, lads.
I don't drink too much, but I drink when I can.
No, I meant like it's really having a good effect on, it really works.
Uh,
It's more like a happy thing to have. Hey there, Tommy Train. It's nice to see you. Long time no see, pal. You can.
Hello.
Kane.
Hey there, Tommy Trains. Again, it's nice to see you. Long time no
Yeah.
see. And
Thanks.
how you coping?
Just fine, Kane. Just trying to be off the internet. With everything what's going on.
Well, if you hadn't seen, if you might want to rewatch the stream from the beginning because I was just kind of going through an updating of what's been going on since I came back from Scarborough, a few weeks ago, and everything's definitely changed big time. Holy sh! What the hell?
What happened?
Okay, I can see something there that kind of disturbed me down below in the chat box down there. Alice B. Enduro 2 was just showing his 2 Lego trains, and I think he had a Bachman Henry, and it looked like, I don't know what happened there, but that looked very disturbing. It looked like he had like a...
Guys, look at my name. I changed it to Gordon Spencer and the Express.
And yet there's no Spencer and Express anywhere except I can just see Gordon on your icon, okay? So that makes no perfect sense.
I'm just doing it for pure randomness.
Jesus.
I actually read on your DeviantArt that COVID is back.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so that's you there. I kept forgetting.
Yeah, they're trying to bring the face thing back.
They need to. Well, we still need to have our masks. And
I don't want it. I don't approve. Sorry.
Well, I read it.
I had to go through it once. I don't want to go through it again.
Well, there's a safer way actually. Instead of the ones you can put over your mouth, you've actually got one of those ones that you can put over your head, and you can still see clearly 360 degrees. They're called face shields, not like the ones.
Yeah. I have those. Me, my dad, and my mom have those. And also, just to tell you, back in 2021, I had my
same with me. I had them too.
Injection and my booster shots.
It's like Michael. It's like one of those. Think of it like it's all like those.
Yeah, I've seen people with those.
They're called, as I like to say, they're almost like helmetless riot gear, almost like or like the hockey boards or whatever they're called. And they're like plastic. It's like a plastic shield that you put over your head, and you get like a headband. If you wear those ones, you'll have no problem. They're much better. Trust me. And you'll still get.
Well, I believe in natural immunity.
I know, but I'm just saying not to believe it. It's a lot. If that's more protective than having it will help you protect your shielding. I had it done too, and it works. I've adapted to any mask, but I only wear it when there's too many guys about, or if I feel like I'm in a safer environment. Okay, I've still got mine with me still. We are seeing cases rise because of the whole infections, but there's not been too much loss of life, Tommy. That's what's going on. But the thing is, it's summer, and it doesn't have enough strength. Only in the winter, we might see it coming, and we might have to do what we have done. But like I said before, I'm totally okay with it because I've dealt with it before in the past, and I'm used to having lockdowns. Because honestly,
I'm not used to that.
Well,
I have to go through lockdown for a year. That was pretty boring. I couldn't go outside and do anything.
Well, you could go outside in your garden to do exercise.
I wasn't allowed outside.
Maybe it was because it was that severe until then, wherever it was in your section. Maybe it was a very bad hotspot from where you were. Maybe that's the reason why.
Damn.
But anyways, like I said, I've done the lockdowns before, and it's kind of funny in a way. I was a bit unsure about it, but guess what? It was kind of peaceful. The peace and quiet in the area or whatever it was. I don't know why. It just made me feel at ease. Like it was like, finally. And even when you went out for your walks, when you were allowed to, and I still do that now with my routine thing, it's just something I've adapted to. It was still chilling and relaxing. It's kind of funny because it did more harm than it did more good. than harm for some, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, if you think about it, if you had people who had been gone away from work or had been back from the wars or even have come back from wrestling or whatever the case, it gave them more time to be with their families. If you know what I'm saying, for people who hadn't been around their loved ones and their children or their wives for some time, think of it that way. It would be more like spending more time with them in a strange way.
Actually, just to let you know, my during COVID, my mom is still working, but at home. But she actually had to bring her computer PC to just work on, like in a call center.
Okay, LSBCE2 number 100's just come back in again. I can see him on the bottom of my hit screen. He had like 2 Lego trains, and then he had like a Bachman Henry, and it looked like one of them was bashing on him from behind. It looked kind of creepy. I was like, "Jeez, what's he doing?"
Well, kids can have its like creepy moments.
No, I meant like it looked very perverted, I might say. He's called the gaming.
Yeah, kids these days can get kind of sus, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
I'm just gonna say this right now. I have no idea what does sus mean. It's been around ever since like the whole Among Us.
It's been. I think they say that. I first heard it back during the Thomas YouTube poops back in the day when they were funny as heck.
I didn't know that. Jesus, bloody Christ!
That was back during my time in college, and I was only about from 2010, 2009, 2010 to about I was just about in my 4 days as a teenager, and then became an adult. Yeah, back when the YouTube era was, when its YouTube poops actually meant something hilarious. I mean, they're still funny today still, but back then they were actual ones you could have a good laugh about.
Do you know part of the reason why kids actually act sus days? Why ask the parents that question?
Bad parenting and bad upbringing and some things. I get that. We have it here in the UK, and in the US it's even bad. But trust me, there's things far worse than that. Trust me.
Let me tell you something. Considering in my place in the Philippines, when kids behave or they just scream at their parents, the parents would often like hit them, and then I can often hear them.
Hello, Roger.
Crying like that. I just often stay quiet, like, God damn.
Yeah, I've had that. I've seen it happen before, where it's the typical behavior with and it's natural because that's just them. They don't get their own ways. There are some who have that normal reaction. We've all had that problem sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
On the learning curve, but there are some who can go beyond that, like when it's not normal behavior. I've seen it happen. You have the grown-ups. Like, I know it's a bit strange, but I feel more bad for the adults who act like, in front of their own families. Like I just had done today, where one guy was just like throwing his arms about like an absolute loony, as if he just lost the national lottery or something, or whatever the case may be, and he just stormed from his car and just drove off. Don't know what that was about, and I heard it, and it kind of made me worried. It was just right across the road from where I'm sitting right now, like just over on the other side. But in any cases, that's natural. But it does make me tend to worry for other people who might have that, which can result into a domestic thing. But either ways, guys, we're kind of drifting off a little bit. But this is just a thing where, you can see the title of it. But for any of you guys who want to go back and want to rewatch the beginning after this is done, you'll kind of see where we kind of got to where we're landing in right now. Because like I said before, I've gone through an incredible, jump shift from one thing to another, the aftermath, when I said, because when I told you guys, when I said I was going to take a long needed break, I needed it big time, and I did a extra stream to let you know when I was coming back.
Yeah, one time I took a break from making videos for a month.
That's how long I was gone for. I know it doesn't sound long, but during my time away, I've had an amazing rethink on life again. I mean, 2022 has been that for me. Even before the whole thing regarding the Ukraine and Russia crisis, even before.
Yeah, I'm kind of neutral with that.
I wouldn't say I'm not neutral, but I definitely am still going to support our Ukrainian brothers. I've actually, for the first time, come across a couple of them lately, and they speak pretty good English.
Oh.
Some of them were raised here, from what I could tell.
Oh, has anyone already known about the leaks from the new Thomas behind the scenes?
I've already
Oh yeah, the
I
deleted
heard about
scenes. I've
that.
seen those.
Tommy Train.
Also, especially the behind the scenes season 5 bloopers, like the
Yeah, I've seen every single one that's been going on, and I'm not gonna look. I know the Tom's community has been going through a rough patch, as we would say, but But as we all know, lately this year, it's gone through a very unique rebound, should we say? We're seeing newer stories being done, new classic talents like old scholars like myself, making great stories, audio stories, and brilliant stuff. But when we look back at when we see, like, we've seen like the whole behind the scenes and digging up things that we didn't know of before, haven't seen before, or may have heard, it's really good to see from what we saw from our time period. And okay, Michael Brown, please stop changing your icons thing, because that was kind of making me dizzy.
Oh, sorry. I was just changing it from going to Spencer because of the naming thing.
Well, if you ever like to, you can always just find an icon, show the two of them together. That would work. And then, just take a screenshot or whatever. And then after that, what we've seen now from season 5 onwards and everything, it's just fantastic to see what would have gone on during the filming. I mean, you would think.
It's like us content creators, like how we've been through, showing bloopers, the exact same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but it also shows the amount of what they were going through during the whole filming and how they had to take reshot after reshot, because you would think they would have done it all in one take.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how we do it now when we
like the Duncan gets spooked one. That's gonna be even more mysterious now.
Yeah,
Well,
we
especially
actually
with the
know what
engine
the
that we
engine
already
looks
get to
like
see.
now, and it's not just.
That's what I was saying.
It's not Proteus.
Well,
yeah, of course. Because I knew it was Skarloey because apparently I
We
can
all knew it
recognize
was
the
Skarloey.
shape.
It wasn't Skarloey either, and it wasn't even Smudger
or Sahandle.
I
No,
thought
it
Yeah.
was just a
Skarloey
black
because
engine.
But it's got Skarloey's rear end section, so it's obviously related to him. Or in a strange, but listen, I think we can say, maybe for the TV series perspective, even though we can say, it's not Proteus, it wasn't Smudger, no. This was from that different time period where we had our own theories of who may have fallen off the bridge. But now we know what the ghost looks like in a way, but we haven't seen
Black
his face yet.
Skarloey.
We know it could, but we now know he could be we now know he's a somewhat darker twin, maybe of Skarloey himself, but we just didn't see his face. Who knows? And who knows? It could have been any of his Skarloey's siblings, if we know that. But anyways, now we know.
Sibling is Talion.
But it wasn't Taliclin, no, because he's still around. That's basically the real Skarloey who we've met, but basically in the fiction, that's his twin. But
that's what you're saying.
But as we know, the German of Sodor at the end of his amazing read-up that I saw,
I've
Even
seen
though-
that a few times.
he said at the end, what Dolkin saw that day may never be known, and maybe it's best that we didn't.
Mhm.
And I kind of like that way. I kind of like to say that's how we should remember it. The TBS version of Dolkin gets spooked.
To keep it a mystery.
To keep that a mystery, because we don't want to, kill off the legend or whatever, because we'd like to keep it going. I mean, and we all know the mystery of the Iron Bridge has been solved countless times in, just for the sake of fun, because we all have our theories and who could it have been and how we would like it to end, and that continue that circulation of, either deepen the mystery, or we can just try and bring our own conclusions to it, and try and think of other things. But with me, I like to think Proteus, was the ghost who fell off the bridge with his magic lamp, as we saw in Enterprise Against 93, and I kind of like to think that was canon. And to be quite honest, even though you may have seen him in my 311 movie as a canon, that was basically in my film, that was basically to know that he was coming next. And honestly, I'm saying this because in my headcanon, would have been in the Railway series, Proteus was the ghost engine who fell off the bridge. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Soda Railway.
In the Railway series, maybe yes, but now we know in the TVS series we've kind of seen what the ghost does look like.
Believe it or not, in an episode I wrote for one of my friends, Proteus was the original number 3 before Sir Handel arrived.
That, and according to Enterprising Engines, the year was in 1924. Who knows?
Fascinating. Of people's
That's
head
kind of,
cannon.
if you combine that makes sense with Mr. Rogers' timeline, unless it's a different version to what you're saying.
Yeah.
We got. Okay, we got a lot of other guys flipping around. We got Mayhem TV. The Air Champ is here. Looks like someone's a John Cena fan. Nice.
John Cena!
Oh boy.
Just
Jesus.
do it.
Oh god, let's not go into chaos mode, lads. Fast Eddie's popped in. P's there. I can see he's going nuts. Mayhem TV's definitely happy. Yep, he's definitely a John Cena fan, but he's also a big train fan. I can tell he's going choo-choo, and then he's like, yeah. So everybody's having a bit of a good time, guys.
Wait a minute. You're not Bertram. Yes, I am. Oh, really?
Oh, it's a reference from Thomas 1 over to Henry 3.
Yes.
Yeah. The UK boys. Well, I'm the only one from the UK. He's standing here, lads.
Yeah, I'm technically from America.
Turns out
America.
Hey, we got. Oh God, no! Don't start singing that song, Gordon. No, don't. No, because that's just too hilarious. One of my lads watched it once. He says, like, great choice of music.
Let me in, said by the Pete.
It turns out TS Super Chicken's definitely having a bit of a blast here.
Oh my.
Okay, Pete, I'll put you in, lads. It's okay. I'm just saying, everybody's going nuts here. Mayhem TV Train is definitely letting loose in the chat right now. But anyways, guys, Tommy Trains, like I said, I'm glad you caught up with what I was saying. It's just the fact is that, the whole COVID thing is definitely to be taken serious. And of course, it's just something that I had to let out there because it's definitely vital to prove, to save those you care and love. And I felt like that needs to be done. So, so that we don't lose us, so we can continue our survival.
I have an interesting theory. What if we are the Matrix?
The bloody hell.
What?
For Sparkle Gold's sake, man. What are you trying to say? We're not the Matrix. Don't bring the Matrix up. Anything
What's
but
in the name of Queen Elizabeth is going on here, lads?
Jesus Christ. God damn it, Tyree. Now you're starting to sound like someone from the Railway series. I'm trying to think whoever you're impersonating now.
No, I was just impersonating Brits. I don't mean to offend any Brits. I apologize.
That's fine. I just love the impression. It's just I'm thinking, who is he trying to explain? Who is he trying to talk to as in terms of like,
Ooh, Mayhem TV's got something going on in here in the chat. What if we are bacteria on a bigger being?
Oh, good lord. I think he means bigger than the COVID itself. Well, you never know.
Well, we're the
Maybe it's best not thinking about this. I'll put him in. Hang on. Hey, Mayhem, if you want to pop in the chat, mate, there's plenty of space. We've only got room for 2 more guys in here.
Have you guys seen my DeviantArt?
Yeah, I've seen it. Here, guys, pop in here. I've got a link here for you if you want to come in, Mr. Mayhem TV. You're definitely stirring the chat, as we'll say.
Veronica and Fluttershy has gotten like 296 views.
Uh-oh. I just thought up of a story idea. Uh-oh.
That ain't good.
Do you guys know this thing called the 3 a.m. challenges?
Hell no! Don't bring that up. Screw that. Fuck those.
I have heard about that.
No.
Until 3 o'clock in the morning. I've tried that once. Almost wore, and I was 1 hour short of doing it.
Uh-oh. So, I have a story about this engine, and there's this game called the 11-Mile Challenge, and the engine will be based off of that.
Oh my goodness. I do remember doing 2 different hours once for charity. I remember doing a 12-hour charity game of playing video games, and I was allowed to have drinks and breaks at times, but to continue going. There were those who were doing it for 24 hours. I could only go for 12, but I was close to doing it for a Halloween thing as Undertaker, as you can tell by my icon. And I did that and I actually stayed 1 hour longer, so I did 13 hours at one point. But that was pretty cool. Then they did like another one I did for, I don't know for how long, I can't remember, but it was quite fun. Then they did the whole thing for 3 hours for like either the next day or so. At one point, I stayed way up until roughly 6 in the morning. I don't know how I did it, but I still did. We partied all the way through.
What's the creepiest hour of the day? 3 a.m. or midnight?
Oh man, I can't quite think.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Oh, bloody hell.
I can only imagine if we were streaming this very day all the way to 3 a.m. in the morning, but that would be nearly impossible. I would have to do it. If I was to do that, I'd probably, if I had someone to walk around, I'd probably be out and about walking at night time with you guys, talking with my headsets in and waiting until the sun rises or whatever the case may be, which would be insane.
I think both hours of the day are creepy.
Good God. Mayhem TV says, I don't ride the crazy train, Gravin. He'd driven it. Oh, I see where he's going with that.
I have no bloody idea.
Well, I'm not going to ride the gravy train, all right? Jesus.
Oh, is he talking about TARDIS Rescue's gravy train thing?
Could be a reference.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I've never seen Doctor Who.
Oh, God, and you definitely missed out on something back in the day.
I wasn't into it.
Well, it was quite hilarious for its time period. For comedy, that is, and talking animals and whatnot. Ugh.
Well, looks like Fast Eddie's having fun in the live chat.
Yeah, he's definitely cheering out, man. It looks like I've got some new. I don't know if I've got new fans here, unless they're fans that you guys might know of. I do not know, but at least the chat is definitely.
What?
I only have 31 subscribers.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
You just said I only have 31 subscribers, and then Mr. says, "Yes." What? That made no sense. What the heck? Okay, Fast Eddie, dude, chill, mate. Look, it's my stream here. I'm the leader here, but I know you're having some fun in the chat, mate. Just chill, mate. Chill. I know you're having some fun. Not Undertaker, you mean the Undertaker. Jesus. Yep, someone's definitely having a bit of a hyperactive experience on the chat here. I can understand that. It's good.
That stupid mouse.
Okay. Now he's asking Mr. Rogers what's his first name. Dude, he's already got a first name.
Who even did that anyway?
Who, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Oh. Hey, TV man, I know.
Would you like to be my neighbor?
What the bloody hell?
It just roll off here. Hang on.
Upcoming. Be right back.
Oh, I see. First Eddie, the Rock reference. I like that. Oh, good lord.
I forgot to mention. I think a few days ago I've seen the Netflix series Man vs. Bee, which starred Rowan Atkinson.
Oh.
It was like bloody hilarious.
So how many people can be in here?
I've only got 6 in here, mate. I can't do like 10 or whatever because I'm using the freelance version.
Yeah, same with me. I can only allow 6.
which is enough for me. I couldn't cope with it. And there we go. Now I've got my actual icon back in. Oh
I mean,
God!
if you want me to go, so you can let someone in, that's fine.
No, it's all right, man. I like having your comfort here, Michael. You did a grand job. Yes, Fast Eddie. It turns out you do love WWE wrestling. I'm glad to hear that, man. And you can tell I'm a big Undertaker fan, but I'm also a big Kane fan, as you can tell. Big fan of the Big Red Machine, brother.
Wait, is he talking to me? Like I read this comment saying, "Shut your mouth," and you know
I'm the only one here, so you must be talking to me.
It's
You
like
talking to me?
being The Rock. He's like The Rock. He's like saying like, "Finally, The Rock has come back," and then he's like saying, "No, you're all and shut your mouth." It doesn't. It's like it'll be like, "What is your name?" I just told you, man. It doesn't matter what your name is. Oh, good lord. Yeah, I know. Even I'm doing The Rock's impression. Astro Boy pops in for a second, and what happened there? Yeah, you're definitely having some fun there, Fat Mayhem. I can definitely tell.
I'm the only one here, so you must be talking to me. Reference from somewhere.
Now you're talking like. Now you're starting to start. Now you're talking like Marlon Brando. You're talking to me. You're talking to me. Oh, God.
Whose whistle was that?
Me, bitch.
Oh, good lord.
Kind of whistle is that? My whistle better than yours.
You want to see it?
Jesus.
You want to see it?
I don't know. Do I?
This one.
Hey, nice.
Well, what the?
Oh god, Astro Boy keeps popping up and he keeps on vanishing. What the hell? He must have bad internet connection. Okay.
Maybe it must be internet interference.
If I was to have a whistle, I know I've had many of them, but this would be like, oh, good lord, Michael Brown, you lucky son of a gun. Now I wish I was going to be with your review because you're doing Twister 1996. God
Yeah.
damn. Why can't you? You know what you should try? You know what you should have done? Oh, you know what? Why don't you just save that until I can be through? Because I would love to join that review with you. Do like a different version. Like, find a different review and wait for that until I'm free to join you. Because I'd do anything to join that, to be in that one. Because
maybe I can do a review on Sonic.
Any version if you like.
I'm back.
Hey, Roger.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. My battery's getting low.
Okay. Hey, Astro, must have popped in.
I'll see you guys next time.
Take care then.
I'll see you guys next time.
See you later. Oh, and as soon as one guy goes, another man comes in and joins in the party.
Hey.
Hey, Astro Boy. Nice to see you. How are things coping anyway? Fast Eddie's definitely in the chat, mate. He's definitely going. Tommy, hey, Tom James, you kind of muted. What's going on?
Oh, sorry.
I only just noticed that.
Yeah.
Looks like Astro Boy had decided to remain silent. He kept popping in and out, and then he had a bad intake problem, and now he's back in.
If you're one way to
I
Sodor
can't even
from
hear
Magic
you
River,
guys.
you
It's
might
like
need
it's
a
gone
whistle.
silent here.
Yeah, I can hear you too. Hang on, I've just checked on your everything. Your name's very different at the top. Oh, I see. Everything's going okay, Astro. It's really you just missed some good fun. We were just having a lot of fun.
I can only hear you guys, but I can't even hear. I can't even hear you responding back because there's an issue.
There is?
That's the problem.
Maybe it's signal interference.
Is there something
Meantime, my
wrong or
mouse is
what?
being a bit of a pain.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to rejoin. I'll be right back. Maybe that'll
Okay.
work.
Okay, Fast Eddie, I think you might want to chill, mate. There was no need to call him Turf Teeth, okay? Mr. Rogers going to get some... Oh. Fast Eddie, I don't know what's up with you. You might want to chill just a little bit, dude, okay? I know we're having some good fun,
If anyone who wants a whistle like from the original Magic Railroad.
Oh, good lord! I was just going to say, is that Mr. Conductor's whistle?
It's not inaccurate, but I just bought that some years ago.
Oh, nice. I thought that was actually the one that they had in the series. And
You
For
wish.
Magic Railroad, that is.
now we got T Crash Productions, who is going to join the party. Excellent timing, brother. If I had a whistle, it'd be definitely very similar to what we would have had. Maybe would have been similar to 765's whistle if he had a deep toned whistle, I think. If I can just get right or wherever it was. Nope.
Someone playing
Railroad
trains?
No, I meant nope. Just trying to get it right. No. I'm trying to get the actual deep tone whistle that he had. No, he always keeps having a low tone whistle. Where's the height? Where's the...
And American whistles are kind of creepy, and they're very impressive.
Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Oh, it's strange. He's not showing the deep tone whistle. Hang on. Let me just... I might get the year correct in this one. I think it was this one or wherever it was. Ah, there he is.
Wait, is he talking to me?
I don't know who he's talking to. Oh,
It's
wow.
like-
You can hear it. Hang on. Oh, there's Astro Boy. There he is. Okay, Fast Eddie, I know you're doing...
now it works this time.
Listen, I can see... Look, Fast Eddie, I know you're having some fun. You're doing the rock impression and everything else, but chill, man. We're not talking about wrestling now. We're speaking on trains, okay? I'm just going to put you in the... Look, dude, I'm just going to have to put you in a... So there we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just will not have that.
I mean, you did tell him to settle down.
That was somebody else, not Fast Eddie. That was somebody else.
Oh. My mistake, then.
Just thinking,
Oh.
no, I'm just...
Anyway, I'm trying to make a British Railways 4MT on Roblox by using a Bell model.
Ooh. That sounds fun.
Except my mouse is being a bit of a pain.
Just trying to find where it was. Where's the...
How long did it take?
To make it?
Yeah.
Faces. I mean, trains with faces, yes, indeed.
It's taking a little bit.
I think it was somewhere here, I think. Nope. It's, where's the,
Sorry about that.
That's all
It's
right.
my brother in the background because he keeps screaming in the living room all the time.
Ugh, I know how that feels.
Okay, where
Siblings
is it?
these days don't know when
I
to
just actually
grow up.
bought a capture player of Flying Scotsman.
Oh, I see what you meant there. Hang on. There we go. I think I might find it in here somewhere, I think. I'm just trying to find that deep tone whistle if I would have had one. If I was an American locomotive, I'm just trying to find where it was. I know it's here somewhere. This is the reason why it gets a bit difficult.
This sounds like I'm like milking it, or either sounds annoying since you want to get over with it. But I just want to ask: have you ever made Timothy's innocent whistle?
Yes, I did. But that was when I had an actual sound effect, and then I tried different variations, and it just didn't work out. That's
I
why
just
I had
made
it.
my version.
But nowadays, people can make their own whistles if they wanted to, depending on the situation.
Too late!
The hell?
Nope.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, mate, I don't even need to have pop noodle, okay? That's something I need to. Oh, and here we go. Right, T Crash. We're starting to have the things are getting good. Hey there, T Crash.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, mate? We're having a great
Hey,
time.
T-Crash.
The chat is
Hey.
definitely getting the chat's definitely getting a little bit hyperactive, which is kind of funny with all kinds of all kinds of stuff. Fast Eddie's definitely,
I have to get a new one again?
So what's up anyway, T Crash? Want to fill us in? I know we were having a bit of a, earlier on it was a bit of a emotional, tense talk earlier on, but and now we're kind of cooling down now. But so what's up anyway? You want to fill us in?
Well, anyway, I'm having a talk with a guy, and I can't really say much on it because really there's nothing to say. But pretty soon, I may or may not be taking on my dream profession. Like I said earlier, at a funeral home. Which I know many people give me side glances when I say, "Oh yeah, that's my dream job," but yeah. Yeet.
Hang on, I think I found it. Actually, it was in this clip I was using the exact same.
Excuse me about the cough.
It was actually in this. Hang on, it was actually somewhere in this clip I'm showing is where I used my some of the real life sound effects as well as the high pitched whistle that I had for Jason when I was the triplex locomotive in the 311 movie. Okay, if any of you guys know what my whistle would sound like if I was an American, if I had an OC whistle, it would. Okay, Fast stop typing in big letters, mate. I know you're having some fun, but please chill out.
Triggered.
Okay, now you're just being a what's that word?
Wouldn't say
Annoying.
Something. No, I think he's kind of. I know he's having some fun. I get that, but there's a time where you need to just chill out. Anyways, this is what my whistle would sound like if I was. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. This is probably the best deep tone track I would have had if I had one. Here it comes.
Okay.
Now that's a hooter.
Impressive.
There you go. Oh, that was 2 sets of whistles. That was from 7. That was actually from 765 in 1991. But the deep tone you just heard, that's definitely what my whistle would sound like.
Yeah, I believe it.
But the high pitched whistle. But the high pitched whistle, that wasn't me. That was the one you just heard there, just briefly. That was the exact same one I had when I used it for Jason, the triplex replica.
Nice.
Yes, it was my MTV. That was 765 whistle.
765 has always been the populated Berkshire steam locomotive.
Well, she is kind of an mind of Berkshire, but but she's more different compared to what her other one would be from her rival of the Pere Marquette, which was 1225.
Pure Marquette supremacy.
Well,
Sorry.
They're not exactly.
We don't want no supremacy on who's the better Berkshire. They are virtually almost near identical. Because they're the same design, despite 765 had her modifications done, but they are the same configuration and the same designer.
Yeah, true.
Just different rival railroads.
Yeah, even though the canals are 100% times better, and this is the hill I'll die on. I'm joking.
That's all right, but But if you want my honest opinion, I'm definitely all in for 765 because I don't know why. It's got a good preserved history. It's gone along a while. It's my favorite Berkshire. No disrespect for 1225 being the
This dude ain't stopping.
that's just me.
I mean, I'm talking about Eddie.
Well,
I'm more of a canal guy, mostly because, well, the canal is run more to where I grew up. And also there's the when 2716 was dressed up as a Southern engine, which, if anyone knows me, I am a Southern Railway nut.
You mean at the time when 765 basically masqueraded as a fallen CNO locomotive? Yeah, we all know how that turned out, which was quite unique.
Yep.
Since she did haul some trains for Norfolk Southern, which is basically Norfolk and Western / Southern combined, and I know I'm a big Southern fan too, but not to be too confused with not to be too confused with Southern Pacific and the Southern itself.
Yeah.
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 I'm always a big fan for Norfolk Southern.
I like it too. I still think it's great. If you think, as I would like to say, now we're going from one thing to another, which is really good, which is what keeps these things going.
Excuse me, Fast Eddie.
Let's just say, what's the
I
word again?
really like the way how they. The only thing that I like about Norfolk Southern is the 21st Century Steam program.
Yeah, basically, I like to say this. I think the Norfolk Southern is basically the greatest merger in American road history. And look at how they've done it. Even though they've had some downfalls,
And while some of the railroad companies merged along with them.
I know.
Someone's asking Kane, can I have a spanner?
Dude, I don't have a spanner in the works, pal, mate. You're not so don't ask anything. I'm not a tools person. Okay?
What?
All right,
Fast
guys.
Eddie saying it.
Hey, dude, Fast Eddie. I know you want. I know you're self roasting, and I don't look at yourself as self attention, brother.
Roasting?
I know
What?
we're all having some
Like one
good
of those kids who are pretty much desperate, who are triggering people with celebrities' deaths.
Or basically, they're just trying to make the chat entertaining. I can get that. While we're having our time, I can see two things happening at once. But like I said, I'd like to keep a balance on this one. But anyways, like I was saying, like I said, I know Norfolk Southern did have some problems in management outside the Steam program, if you regard the diesel servicing that they have. But besides all that, they've got the best, Steam program possibly anywhere in the nation. I mean, but I do feel more like, I do.
They're good, but they could do
Now
better.
we're
I
getting
mean, mate, please
somewhere.
do a better job at controlling the chat, mate.
I really kind of wish they would bring back the 1218 once again.
Yeah, 1218 definitely could make a return.
I wish they would have brought that back.
Well, we all know the UP 3985 is going to return.
By the way, who here's seen
Yeah.
the latest Thomas
That
on the
was,
Rail
like-
Tours episode?
Ever since the
I
last
did.
time
I did.
when I never heard about it.
I heard about it.
Yeah, I can't believe
I've
they
been
got rid
keeping
of
up
the DD
to it. Like, it's really good.
A40X. I mean, that was the diesel version of the big boy, and that would have been perfect behind 4014, but
It would have
they
been
gave it out.
the biggest steam engine in the world and the biggest diesel in the world. A nice, perfect match. Anyways, Mr. Rogers, I actually just did see the latest rail tour video, so that was pretty good. I was quite impressed.
Silver Ben is very amazing with his stories.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay, Super Chicken. Listen. T Super Chicken or whatever the heck you want to be called. Can you just please? I know you're telling me to do a better job, but it doesn't really matter. We're just trying to have some fun around here, and I know you have a bit of sense of humor in there. Okay, but I'm gonna make this. I'm just gonna basically just
Kane,
go
take
there.
your face for
I
a
know.
shit.
I don't care what this guy's saying. Fast Eddie, first off, you were hilarious. With
I'm
the
really
rocket.
surprised that
You're doing the rock impression. You were
I'm
definitely
very
having some fun.
surprised that the mega railroad like the Burlington Northern survived past the 1970s.
It did, yeah. Look, all I'm just going to say, listen, hang on, guys. Fast Eddie, dude, I know you had some time here and you were making us laugh with some of the sense of humor that you had, and I appreciate that. But it seems like you were showing your true colors, pal, mate. I'm not going to appreciate your, you're disrespecting there, mate, and I'm not going to, accept what you're just saying. You're basically, I'm not happy with that, mate. So I'm sorry about this, pal. But You're gonna go, mate. I'm sorry, pal. I'm gonna have to put you in the grave. So, goodbye, chap. You're done. I'm sorry, pal. It's for your own good. There we
Also,
go, lad.
from what I've heard, is that Canadian National outbidded its rival of Canadian Pacific to Kansas City
Question?
Southern.
Why am I still seeing Fast Eddie in the chat?
He said that after I got him off.
Oh,
And
What's the
Matrix-
biggest steam locomotive in the world, or in your place in America?
Well, I'm not. Well, I'm not American, but the
Largest in my.
the biggest locos we have were basically I can recall were the Duchess class in the LMS. They're the biggest. They had the largest fireboxes ever built in America. I mean in England. Sorry. So yeah, they were.
Well, the thing is, the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway tried to make their own 2-10-10-2 engines.
Yeah.
Well, that's an
But
interesting
that
story.
engine is causing problems to the Santa Fe Railway.
Well, the
Okay.
main issue was
So
everyone
basically,
thinks that
I don't think the Challengers or the big boys are not the first ones.
Well, actually, the 2-10-10-2 is sort of, I don't want to call it a ripoff, but when you look in the middle of the boiler, you see those two pipes, right? Those are exhaust pipes. Half of that boiler is the smoke box. No, I am not joking. Everything behind those two pipes, everything under the first set of cylinders is the boiler. Everything in front of that is just the smoke box.
Okay, I need to say something here. Hey, Gabe Metric, I'm sorry about that, pal. I just didn't know who you were, mate. Forgive me on that, pal. I do apologize for that. Hey, Daniel's popped in. I've only got room for one more, guys. I'm just going to put him back in.
Would you ever think like?
Hello there.
Hey, Daniel, told you I'd still be up, and yeah, I'm still coming. T-Crash is joining us, along with Tommy Trains, Astro Boy, and Mr. Rogers is here with us. We're all having a grand time. But yeah. we're just dealing with some issues. We just had a certain troublemaker bloke who went too far with doing the Rock and Undertaker and Kane impressions, and then and now we had somebody who I thought was bad. Someone called Gavin the Matrix, and I didn't mean to block him, but I wasn't sure who he was, and he's a bit of a wrestling fan. But again, I haven't got I wasn't too sure who it was, so I do apologize. All right.
It's all good.
You would ever think like
I hope that
American
you guys.
locomotives are
I hope
smaller,
you guys will help
British
me
locomotives are
achieve
big?
my goal.
I have
to
the Undertale
restore
theme playing in the
G1.
background.
Hey guys.
Oh, we got the left.
Guys, chill. One guy talk at a time. You saying something, Astro?
I hope that you guys will help me achieve my goal to restore the old G1 for NNW.
I have no bloody idea.
Wait. I know the N&W had some electric engines, but I didn't know that. Wait, did the N&W lease a G1 from the PRR?
No, it's not the GG1. That's not what I meant. The NNW had the old 280, which is the class G1.
Oh, all right.
Who knows?
Do you guys think like American
Interesting.
locomotives are kind of small and British locomotives are very large?
They seem maybe in lengthwise, but in size-wise, it's very different. Okay.
yeah, there's
Yes.
virtually a huge difference.
Well, I
between
mean,
some of them.
some of you guys never knew that this old engine can pull 50 wooden cars.
Hey guys, it looks like Fast P's back with somebody. Now he's asking, why'd you block me? Well, you did kind of bring it on yourself, pal. I'm very sorry, Pete, but I'm not putting you back in. I'm sorry. You're done. I'm very sorry, pal. I'm just not going to tolerate his behavior. Anyways, lads, yeah, that was really, really.
Oh,
sorry about
oh
that.
my
Daniel.
gosh.
Someone
Come
who,
What's wrong?
again, like I said, Daniel, thanks for the talk earlier on. That was really, really good.
No problem.
Like I said, I think everybody else can hear about this, but I want to go back a bit. Like I said, I mean, we've definitely have gone through a hell of a lot of stuff this year, mainly for the good and
Oh, yeah.
bad. But I can definitely tell
Not
you,
just this year, within the last 2-3 years now.
I know. I mean, even before
Yeah.
where it unfolded, all I'm just trying to say is, guys, I'm just so grateful I've still got loyal fans and friends who stuck with me for a long while. And like I said, when I got a little choked up earlier this morning, when I was thinking about everything, and Daniel had a really good talk about it. And if any of you guys want to hear that, go back to the beginning, and you'll hear what was being said. It was really,
Oh, yeah.
really
Definitely go back further on the stream, too, and you hear me and Glenn talking about a lot of stuff that we've been through.
Yeah.
I mean,
As long
I
as we be on their side, we'll always be there.
sometimes
Oh, yeah.
being sorry, given Matrix, there's not enough space in Mate, so you're going to have to stay put. But you can still hear what we're saying.
What do you mean there's not enough space? You can have like up to 10 people on here that I saw.
Wouldn't you
Mine's
have to?
I can only hold up to 6.
Ah.
Yeah, I can only hold up
What,
to
isn't
10.
that
okay.
like an upgrade or something?
Anyways, lads, like I was just saying, is that I'm just so grateful that I know I've been through a lot of trial and errors, and I know last year was difficult, and I know we've all been there. We've all had our fair shares, and we've all learned lessons of what we should have done and what we should never have done.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Still, I'm still kind of getting heat still for it, even though I have apologized numerous times. I've never gone back on my word. And as Daniel has said, if there's anybody who cannot seem to let go or just forget about me, then just take his advice. I always like to say in polite words, just don't bother, or just trail off and forget about me. Just don't.
Gavin's asking like he's wondering why he's
Oh,
blocked.
great.
No, that's. I've just looked at him, Kevin the Matrix guy. He's a wrestling fan. I can definitely tell by his icon. So he likes wrestling as well. Sorry about that, pal. It was an accident, mate. I didn't mean to, pal. Okay, just chill. I forgot I haven't seen you for a while, so I didn't know who
Just
you
need
were.
to calm down.
Okay.
Chill, Bill.
All I would just say is that, like I said, there's just so many things I'm still wrapping my head around. But I'm getting better and better at it. Like I said, as Daniel has said, I'm opening up more as ever. Even though, if you guys remember, Mr. Rogers can tell you clearly because he saw it for himself. I was never in a good spot in life. And I wasn't scared to open up. It's just that I was too, down with depression. And, if you remember in November, I broke from so much, I couldn't take it anymore, which is what led to that stupid, infamous footage that's been stolen and used to this very day to try and make me look bad. And certain guys who you guys might know of are still trying to use that to make me look like I'm a bad person. Where clearly, obviously, it's a bad challenge.
Man,
Well, that was loud.
people who take the internet nowadays
Whose
are
dog was
becoming
that?
very aggressive.
It is. That was quite loud, Asteroid. It sounded like somebody was blowing through fabric.
No, that was my dog. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It just sounded like someone just took a big, massive fabric and just blew into it.
Nah, just don't worry about it. Sometimes the thing is that my dog always hear if there's any trespassers coming into my property.
Dogs are very protective.
Yeah, but
That
don't
they
worry.
are.
She doesn't even bite. Sometimes she only barks. That's all she does. She never bites.
She's all bark and no bite.
Hey there, Gusto Productions. Long time no see, pal.
Anyway,
Of mine.
Glenn, I'm gonna head back out. I gotta do some
That's
things.
all right.
Probably take a nap. So
That's okay. It's good to see you pop back in.
I really cannot wait
Yeah,
to
for
drive
sure.
this
Take care,
Star
guys.
Wars.
Take care, Daniel. We'll be right back with you soon enough. Okay, maybe we'll put him in. We'll see what Gusto says.
Have you guys ever heard of famous YouTubers passing?
No. Wait, who's passed on?
The famous Minecraft YouTuber by the name of Technoblade, who died of cancer.
I don't
Yes,
know.
I've heard about that.
I don't know who he is.
No disrespect or anything, but
I've heard about what happened.
Yeah,
So, that's
I never
scary.
actually known about him, but I just felt bad for him and his fans.
Well,
passed
I
away.
don't know who he is, but may he rest. But I don't know who he is, but may he rest in peace.
He's a famous Minecraft YouTuber.
Oh, okay. No disrespect. I'm not really
Yeah.
into Minecraft, but again, I'm
No.
sorry to hear
I'm
about
kind
that.
of more into Roblox. No disrespect.
For some funny
well.
reason, I always keep thinking Roblox and Minecraft are very similar.
I mean, both
Yeah,
are like 3D
Sorta.
I
games.
can see how some people would think that.
Yeah.
I mean, Minecraft gives you the ability to build stuff, while Roblox is just something you can just go around like you're a small model as a
But it
toy.
does give you the
Lego.
intention, though. It does give you a fair clarity in terms of the software product. Look, TK Super Chicken. Look, I know what you brought up here.
Look,
I'm sorry about that. Listen,
being
I've
sarcastic
explained
here.
many times.
Just curious.
It's not what you think, because it's fine. I'm not confirming or denying. It's just the fact is this that it was just a whole thing that just led to one thing after another. It was cruelly exploited, and I've explained it's because I wouldn't do that sort of thing. And again, look, I'm sick and tired of people who keep mentioning about that, but I had no intentions to do what you might think I was going to do because it was just the way how my camera was angled and how I was holding my, when I was eating my dinner. But I was so broken and depressed, I wasn't thinking straight, mate, and I won't do that ever again. That's why I don't even, if I'm having my dinner online now or on camera, you won't see me have it. That's the reason why I've done now since. So I apologize. Maybe you may have misheard that, but like I said before, and there are those who are still willing to use that to make me feel like I'm this bad person. Again, T Super Chicken, thank you so much for understanding about that. But again, I really do. I wish you hadn't brought it up or whatever. But the fact is, though, again, I'm sorry about that. But thank you for understanding and tuning in. At least you kind of understood what kind of did happen. Okay. Hey, sure, Guster, you can pop in if you want to. We've got plenty of space. Guys, I'm sorry if you heard that, lads, but I had to just let T Super Chicken know, okay?
Oh, I just heard the door slam.
Sorry about that. It's my two siblings.
Hold on, I'll go get help. Oh, help! Police! Murder! Jimmy fell in the well again. My dog ate my cousin for the umpteenth time this week.
Oh,
I'm watching Thomas and Friends Game Show Carnival too.
Oh man. Hey, we're gonna have Gusto joining us in now. It's been a long while since I've had him in one of my shows.
I'm just watching the Sierra Railway number 3, aka the movie star engine.
Hey. That's all
The
right,
only thing
kid.
that I like about this engine is part of 3 of my favorites is Casey Jones 1957, the show, and Petticoat Junction 1963, and that includes Back to the Future 3 1995.
Nice. Hey there, Gusto Productions. Nice to see you, pal. Long time no see.
Yeah, same here, man. It's been an interesting summer, but
Yes,
so far it's
so far with two
literally
big
most of my July has been kind of slow. I haven't been working as much, so
basically it's been a snail's pace.
yeah.
That's all right. Look, T Super Chicken, I'm very glad that you understand. And I'm you've earned my respect for that, pal. Sonic Rock, I don't know what your problem is, pal, but I'm not I don't know what your problem is, pal, mate, but I'm blocking you out for that. Sorry. Can't have you in there.
What did he say?
He's
He
saying
said
You can suck something like
he said
that.
something about Super Chicken sucking or whatever, and I'm not going to have someone clapping after another.
No.
New models on trains.
Yes, Tommy, what, Tommy? What were you saying?
What's your new models on trains?
Wow.
I would.
I don't have anything new at the moment still. I've only just recently got back getting some of it in, but this thing really, really does heat pretty fast. Yep, we heard about it. Again, I says don't want to just.
I would like to see some new trains.
Well, I'm kind of just letting you know it's just old news anyway. It's gonna brief for me.
I'm planning to get the
Nice glasses.
I'm planning to get the I'm planning to get the HO scale model of the Twilight Express.
Oh God, no! Blaze, anything but the Twilight Express. I beg of you, no.
Twilight. What's that?
What's wrong with that? I have no bloody idea.
I've never
It's
heard of it.
it's the Japanese most luxurious train that they first published in 1989.
Hey Astro, you know what I was referring to in terms
I'm
of
more of a
like,
Galaxy
I'm referring
Express
to-
999 and Mugen Train guy.
So, unfortunately, the first generation of the Twilight Express was on its last run in 2015, being replaced with the second generation.
See how that turns out. Might make a lasting impression.
Yeah, they just the JR West really was trying to make it more luxurious than it was before.
And don't worry, Mr. Rogers. I'll be back. All right, I have
Would you like to join me, my comrades? I will never have some
No,
I
no,
see.
no.
What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm
Don't
not
judge
talking,
me.
I'm not talking Soviet. I'm talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, the guy who
Yeah.
played the Terminator.
Oh yeah, when you did
I'm
that
back.
impression, I was watching Mega Man NT Warrior. When Lan Hikari was just about to eat his favorite
Oh my
dessert,
God, what
two
the
of the
heck?
guards from the airport
Yeah,
grabbed
I'm not showing my face for a while. I'm kind of trying to be kind of invisible.
You
Being
trying to turn yourself,
invisible?
are you trying to turn yourself into the Hulk or something?
Here I am.
No, I'm trying to be invisible.
Oh my lord, it's Slender
Mr.
Man.
Oh,
Mr. Green.
Well, and plus I can do this. So now I can
Oh, I see.
oh,
I see what you
looky
did.
there. Gotta be.
okay, okay.
I see what you're trying to pull off there, mate. I see. You're trying to be like you're basically trying to be Percy as a human being, except he blasted your face with green livery.
I would still imagine if the Flying Scotsman would still race against the K-Say Skyliner.
Oh, who would win though?
I mean, the thing is, the K-Say Skyliner, which is part of the K-Say Railway in Japan, can reach about 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, I'm looking for Mr. James.
Which is basically the same speed as the Flying Scotsman.
That went as 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I have one race I would love to see, even though it would be highly controversial, and maybe even some people here would hate to see that, but I would love to see a three-way race against Flying Scotsman, Union Pacific 844, and the new T1.
That would be intriguing.
I was surprised that the Reading T1 finally got back to life.
Indeed, they deserve to come back. I mean, we've been building trains back from the dead for a long while for a new generation, and I think it's best that others joined in too. I mean, if we Brits can do it, so can the Americans.
Well, technically,
Yeah.
not.
Hopefully,
not
I
to
might
be
be able to restore the old Iron Horse back to life with just a Norfolk and Western
Oh, his real
G1
face.
number 6.
Norfolk and Western.
There's no stopping
Wait, you-
us.
I just made some-
you listen to Cargo Moving People?
What the heck?
I've heard a little bit of it.
Foreign people.
On
Oh my gosh. I really like that song. It's the best.
But now we see what you look like. Yeah, I can definitely tell you've been hot and sweaty. Even your fan is making it all.
He looks like that one guy I remember watching from Grown Ups 2.
That's too, man.
Oh yeah. T-Crash, have you actually listened to Southern Pacific Roll On?
I used to play that religiously.
Never heard of it.
Love that song. Yes.
I just made some wooden railway customs.
You know what? If I'm not going to lie to you, if what's his name, just Thomas in the Railway Tours, if he brings Southern Pacific in there, if he brings the Daylight in, and if he plays that Southern Pacific Roll On, I'm going to mark the hell out.
You want to see the rarest Thomas item ever?
What would that
White
be?
case tablets and truck.
I remember.
Oh,
Dying
Oh.
to get my
It's a
Oh.
hands on
custom
one
made.
of
It's a
those.
custom made.
Oh, custom.
Oh, okay.
I also I don't know if you can see, but I also made staples on the bottom.
I can
How
see
do
where
they
it's
even get
staples.
the
Oh,
staples in the
nice,
wood?
nice.
That's always
Yeah.
baffled me.
Also,
about-
another custom I also made.
I've got one of those, except mine was
Ooh. Nice.
Very nice. Very
You
nice.
know, especially with
Nice.
Americans,
Have you
what
got
if like
anything custom?
Brio made this?
Oh, I see.
Huh.
What if Brio made the Soda Line caboose?
What would they call it though? Soda line brake van?
I can imagine
Well-
they just see.
Well, you
I don't know
technically-
why.
Label as,
I don't know why
or
they
it is
have
labeled as a
have
brake
had
van
that
for
sort
no
of
reason.
caboose design. They should have made it the brake van more specifically than an American caboose.
I mean,
Wooden
the
railway
closest
was
thing we
made in
got to a
America.
brake van from the wooden railway line was the NW brake van.
Oh yeah, the spiteful brake van.
Yep.
Yep, I have
And
only
I'm
one of those.
Still trying to find one for a good price.
Well,
I know, it's
Still
hard to
trying to
find
find
one.
one?
I don't know. Maybe.
No,
if you
there's a
guys
lot of
are-
things I want to get off my TWR bucket list. Sodor Railway repair, Knapford
Oh, yeah.
Express coach. If I could list every wooden railway item I didn't have in my collection, we'd be here all evening.
Yeah. For me, I'm interested in
Okay.
getting the 1992 variants, but I realize they are so expensive. Like literally,
Yeah.
like, and there's that, which is why I prefer sometimes the 94 since they're not as, badly priced, depending on which one you get.
I know
If
the
you want to
only
do, like, straight
1994
older
item
wooden
I
railway
only have
models.
in my entire wooden railway collection is BOGO.
I've got Boko, and he's battered, but he's still intact. And of course, he was the only diesel I ever got. And I've actually got, I think I've got Mavis and Diesel, and I still got that version of Percy still.
Yeah, I got like 10 boxes of wooden railway. It's crazy. I don't even know how I even managed that.
Recently,
last
I was at a.
My last three ones were basically Emily, Rosie, and Molly.
Yeah.
Because they were my favorite trio at the time.
There's like, I realized that Molly's supposed to have the same, amount of same wheel arrangement as Edward, because they're both almost the same.
Well,
Except when they made Molly, they
Edward is
gave
the
her.
Furnace Railway K2, and Molly is a D. Eleanor B12 something like Alfred's.
You made a
cousin.
Claude Hamilton.
Yep.
I think that's what it was, yeah. I think her class survived, I
The
think.
color is not even that accurate. It's just I use silver spray paint.
Oh, okay.
Oh, anyway. Sorry about that. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a picture of the first generation of the K-Say Skyliner.
Okay.
I'm more of a D51 guy, personally.
You see, in this picture, these two are the first generation of the K-Say Skyliner. This one is the Phase 1 paint scheme. That one's wearing the Phase 2.
Okay.
Is it still around to this day?
No, unfortunately, it was on its last run because they were old.
Yeah, hang on.
Damn.
I'm going to.
Okay, now let me see if I could find the 1992 Skyliner, which is basically the second generation. I think this one should do. This is the second generation of the K-Say Skyliner,
Okay.
which is basically now it's wearing its Phase 3 paint scheme, along with the red and blue stripe on the middle, as well as the blue on the under.
Sorry about that. I'm just trying to find who I can.
And here, hold on, let's give me a moment. This is the third generation of the Keisei Skyliner.
Hmm.
This was actually published in 2006, and it was still running today.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I have a Tomy or Tamika version of that, I think. 'Cause
Really?
I remember showing Kane and a couple of other people the last time I was on a stream, I think. I can't remember when it was, but
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the Keisei Railway kept the second generation Skyliner for a few more years until it was on its last run in 2016.
Damn.
I love playing Roblox.
Anyways, hey guys, as much as I'd like to continue on going, we've had a fantastic stream on this one. I might come back again another time, but it's just gone past midnight 42 minutes ago, so I'm gonna have to wrap this one up.
Mine is daytime.
All right.
all right. No
Yeah.
problem.
I'm still having a game time here.
It's different times.
Yeah, it's all.
It's been absolutely fantastic. So thanks for popping in, and nice to see you too, Gusto. Nice to see you, Tommy, Mr. Rogers, Astro Boy, and T Crash, and everybody else who was in. Brilliant. So cheers, lads. We'll
See you later.
catch you
Bye.
guys. Good night,
See you
lads.
around.
And you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Later.